Play.
If there's one match from Rafa's story where you think that was a missed opportunity, there was a big chance.
We have matches,
2
or 3 in Australian Open. No more. We lose the opportunity in Wimbledon against Djokovic in semi-final.
2018.
Then we lose the opportunity more important because that was semi-final. We lose the opportunity in Australian Open. In the Australian Open 2014, 2012 and 2017.
Yeah.
In 14 because he has an injury against Wawrinka that before he had never lose against him. Then with Djokovic and Federer, he had breakup in the 5th.
Yeah.
And 40-30 or 30-50. I don't remember well. It was a ball very close, goes up. But this is what happened. There was in Roland Garros 2009. Of course, he I am sure that he won. He will win. He won this tournament when he has no problems in his knee, because at this moment he was the best. He won Australian Open, then he won the tournaments on clay, and he arrived with problems in Roland Garros. For this reason, in my opinion, he loses. But there are others time that maybe he has to lose and he won.
Have on chauffeur. I don't know, shisha.
Ready. Play.
Hello, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me okay there. And welcome to, I mean, you probably thought the tennis was over on Sunday, as usually people tend to do when the Grand Slam finishes. But of course, the tour, it continues, and it has continued, and it is wrapped up, or at least placed up, an absolute delight this week, where we have, of course, Rafael Nadal, the 22-time Grand Slam champion, and, you know, all-round great, absolute legend, great, you know, whatever superlative you want to use of the game, is, of course, in action in Bastad, a place he has not been to in 19 years. And he is playing a personal favourite of mine, so you may end up noticing a tad degree of bias for this watch along in Cameron Norrie, somebody who has 2 clay court titles to his name, that being Leon in 2022, and then also Rio, which is his biggest clay court title at the ATP 500 level, which he picked up in 2023. As we can see, of course, not only has Nadal been playing in the singles, he beat Leo Borg in the previous round. He has also been playing doubles with Casper Ruud, and they have won their round of 16 and their quarterfinal match. So they are going strong, especially given it gives Ruud an excuse to stay in Bastad, given his early exit at the hands of Thiago Monteiro, who is a very tough player previously. So who's a very tough player on clay, somebody who's beaten Stefano Tsitsipas in Madrid early in the season. And as we can see from the picture there, these lads have met 5 times before, but the last time that these 2 people have met was in 2023, so over a year ago at the United Cup, where Cameron Norrie picked up his only win against Rafael Nadal, beating the Spaniard 3-6, 6-3, 6-4. I'm sure Cameron would love a similar sort of win there. Ken, you're just saying it's up to Nadal if he wins or loses. Norrie is a non-factor. I think that's really rather unfair on Cameron. Certainly going into this one. Hi, Julian. It's good to see you in the chat. Ashley, though, thinks Norrie's going to prove a point. I hope he's... I don't think he has... it's going to be a hard one, because if he beats Nadal, people will say, well, Nadal's still coming back from injury. He's had a few months off. He's not necessarily going to be at his best. But if he wins, people are going to go, oh, Norrie should have beaten him. So it's one of those things where it's damned if he does or damned if he doesn't when it comes to the result. But of course, what we've noticed this week in Bastad is the fact that the seeds have been tumbling like crazy. Ruud's out. Rublev went out last night. Grigspor just lost. Who else has gone? Kotov, he's gone as well. And also, I think another seed as well has gone from that one. As I will say, we're just about to have play that's kicking off. Norrie is serving from the bottom end of the screen, goes up the line. Forehand by Nadal, and that goes slightly long. But yeah, like I was saying, the seeds have just been tumbling in Bastad. Hamburg and Gstaad, both places have had their seeds held up on damn sight better. They've only lost one seed up to this date for the European clay tournaments. With Norrie just looking to get good there. So when did Norrie last win a title, James? That would have been Rio back in 2023, where he beat Alcaraz in the final in that one there. But he has not won a title since then, actually. It's a bit bizarre. He's usually somebody who's able to at least pick up a couple of titles a season. But this year it's been a little bit different in terms of he's had a bit of a slip down the rankings, which has sort of affected his ability to get seeding in tournaments and to maybe even be able to sort of pick a path through them. And also, he had a bit of a poor end to the last year. I mean, not helped by the fact there was a lot of indoor hardcourt tournaments, which Norrie is traditionally not very good on. It's something him and Nadal has in common as a factor. They much rather prefer to play a tour level event outdoors, and especially Norrie's certainly become an incredibly good. I have to say, an incredibly good clay courter. As I just going to pick in some water. So Norrie 30-15 up at the moment. Just looking good on the juice side of the court. But on the ad side, Nadal's just getting a good purchase on a lot of these balls. But Nadal though hits a forehand wildly into the net. So someone lost as number 2 seeds. Ashley saying Norrie is going to win this match. Got to get British number 1 back. Yeah, I mean it's something he'll want to get back. Jack Draper took that illustrious title off him after Jack won Stuttgart, and it's going to be incredibly good if both Jack and Norrie could raise each other's games by competing with each other to try and get that British number 1 status. Which gets you a lovely little banner outside the LTA Centre, I see. Let's get some good backhands from Norrie. Norrie up the line there with a good forehand by Rafa, forehand by Norrie cross court, forehand by Rafa cross court, forehand by Norrie up the line. but a brilliant down the line forehand winner by Nadal there. But Norrie still 40-15 up. I mean, what he'll probably experience in this match is the crowd will tend to be against him for this contest. The crowd will tend to be against him as they want to see Nadal win. Like we said, Nadal won this event back in 2005, so almost 19 years ago, when he was a much younger player who'd love to sit on the clay courts. As we get a brilliant drop shot by Norrie, sticks Nadal out wide, and is able to hit a brilliant forehand drop shot to get the first game of the match over the line. Who was the number 2 seed? Sorry, Ashley, you're asking. The number 2 seed for Bastad was Casper Ruud, and the number 1 seed was Rublev, who went out in a pretty epic match last night against Tarante, a guy who played out of his mind, it felt like, in that contest, Tarante. So it was, that was an incredibly good result for Tarante, his highest ever win and his first ever tour level quarterfinal. It's probably down to, as like we saw with Grigspor earlier on, a lot of these top seeds, top players, top 4 seeds at the 250 events where they get buys to the second round, are really, they're trying to find their feet. They're trying to find their feet back on the clay, just as much as all the other players. But the other players tend to have at least another game under their belt on the surface because they played that first round match. And that's sort of where you get that disadvantage coming in from having that buy. I mean, if you're on a surface that you're used to, then it can be a real advantage. Hard courts being a prime example of that. But when it comes to clay courts, you really want to get those matches in. You don't want to be getting buys and having players that have more matches ahead of you, because you could end up being caught by a player who's really informed, really up for it. Just like what happened to sort of Rublev, Ruud, and certainly Grigspor in this tournament so far. Good forehand by Norrie, forehand by Rafa across court, forehand down the line by Norrie, but it's slightly long. Nadal just took the time away from him there. It's saying as well, Humbert, the France guy, just okay. So a big seed in Gostad in Gostad has gone out. Thanks for letting me know, Ashley, on that one. That is certainly interesting to note. And as you can see, I think we've got Mario who's going to be joining us in 10 minutes or so. Out wide, or good serve there by Rafa. Forehand curved well out wide, and on to 30 love at the moment from Nadal. So Nadal's looking like he's having a good start to his service game. Norrie just not getting much of a purchase at the moment on the Nadal serve. Really sticking in some of the rallies. So Nadal goes up, goes across, backhand by Norrie, backhand by Nadal at the line, perfectly placed. It was a short one from Norrie that Nadal was easily able to walk onto. So that makes it 40. It should make it 40 love to Nadal. Yeah, it does. Certainly, Nadal looks like he is in business. And like I said, if you could make sure you hit the like button on this video, that'd be fantastic. And you haven't already, and you're in the chat, and you want to subscribe to us, please do that as well. That'd be brilliant. Bastad, backhand by Norrie, forehand by Rafa, just puts it away. Norrie at the moment struggling to read where Nadal is going to be sticking a few of these serves as we now go to 1 game apiece. And you would certainly say, given the way that a lot of the seeds have fallen out this tournament, granted Navoni is the opponent that would lie in wait for the winner of this match, that for both Norrie and Nadal, whoever can come through this, there is certainly an opportunity for a good deep run, potentially even a title run, given the types of players that are left in the tournament. See a good backhand contest, forehand by Norrie cross court, backhand by Nadal, backhand by Norrie down the line. Nadal's scrambling to it. Norrie goes to the drop shot and again catches Nadal out. Norrie certainly making use of Nadal's deep return position, especially on the rally points, to get in those drop shots, which is good to see, just to try and change things up in the contest. Goes across court from Norrie, just goes slightly wide. Actually saying, I looked into the match and I think tie breaks, don't you think? It could be tie breaks, certainly. Bradley, both these two players haven't really gone to many tie breaks in their previous matches. I know the before the United Cup, which took place last year, when they both played each other, Nadal had pretty much won every single contest. Not many of them have gone to tie breaks, but as you say, Ashley, this is Norrie's return game hasn't been great so far in recent years. Granted, it's a weird one. We're actually from watching Norrie's game, and especially the match that Norrie played on Monday. Norrie's serve seems to be getting stronger. It looks like it is now a real weapon which he has developed. It's his return games that seem to be a bit of an issue. Oh, that was just a brilliant serve out wide from Norrie there. It was your classic, ad side, lefty swinger out wide. Nothing that Nadal could do with that, even with Nadal's left-handed forehand. So currently they're going to the chairs. Cameron Norrie is leading 2-1 over Nadal. Like we said, Nadal's been starting fast in a lot of these matches. He was incredibly good against Leo Borg, getting quite early breaks in both those in both the sets that he played against Leo. And certainly there were points in which there were some frailties in the Nadal game, maybe a few unforced errors that we weren't necessarily expecting, or did expect from prime Nadal. And certainly opportunities where Leo was able to at least be the aggressor. But, no offense to Leo Borg, he is a player ranked around 300, between that 300 and 400 in the world mark, and for a reason. And that's because he's not a player who's proven himself to be a main tour level player. Like a lot of the players in the field, and unfortunately, I say unfortunately because I don't want to be disrespectful, he got that wild card because of his dad's name and the fact that it was a Swedish tournament, and has done actually for the past couple of years, both when it comes to the Bastad tournament in July and also the Stockholm tournament, which takes place in October. Leo tends to get the wild cards to that. Actually saying I looked at Leo Borg, ITF player. Is that harsh? No, I don't think it's harsh. I don't think Leo's, it's not a situation where Leo has maybe progressed to the challenger circuit since the last time he played this event in 2023. He generally has not moved from that 300 to 400 in the world player position. And he's 21, he's got plenty of years left in him. But if he wants to compete at this level, he's going to have to really work on his ranking and work on actually improving his level. As Norrie there really is able to turn that point around, was pretty defensive from the start of it, managed to hit a brilliant forehand cross court, which kind of neutralized the point, then came in on a Nadal backhand to hit a forehand winner. Pretty good work there, Norrie. What I think Leo could do better, I think stronger serve would work for him, Ashley, first of all. And a lot of it would be just cutting down and also making sure his forehand's a bit more of a weapon would really help him out. But mainly just cutting down on the unforced errors and its decision making that will help him get up the rankings. As we've got a second serve here for Norrie to see. Like we say, just on the Nadal serve, it's love 15. To the Brit on the Nadal serve. Let's see what happens here on the second serve. Nadal into the air, goes down the tee, backhand by Norrie, backhand by Rafa cross court, backhand attempted backhand up the line by Norrie, but it just clipped the net. It was quite a low ball from Nadal. He did really well actually, Nadal, to keep the aggression on and go for a really wicked backhand cross court to win that point. Oh, it's good to hear you went to Nottingham yesterday, Ashley. It's I know there's the W50 and M25 tournaments that are taking place there this week. Quite good for the LTA, which is the British Tennis Authority, to put on a range of hard court events at the futures and lower ranked challenger levels for the women this month, just to allow some more opportunities for British players to be able to pick up some ranking points and to pick up some wins. Certainly going into, in those cases, because they won't be looking at the Olympics, certainly going into the American hardcourt swing. I know Heather will be looking to play qualifying for the US Open, so it's good to see that she also picked up a win today, Heather. Yes, it was a bit of a shame that she beat a up-and-coming British youngster in Ella McDonald, but these events are there to for them to be able to get some matches. Forehand down the line by forehand cross court from both players. Good backhands from each other. Down the line by Nadal, but the backhand there was slightly long. It just didn't get enough purchase to duck that into the court on that ball. So it's currently 15-30 to Norrie. Actually saying there's a young girl, 16, she looks special. Yes, Mimi Zhu. She is one of a crop of youngsters, certainly a crop of British young girls who are seen as potential big stars or could be, could have the potential to go to the top of the game. I think both, it's like Mimi Zhu, Hannah Klungman, and Mika Stojanovic are the ones that are usually touted. Both of them actually have rankings around about 600 in the world on the women's side anyway already. As Norrie unfortunately goes for an attempted forehand winner up the line and just goes slightly wrong there. So 30 all at the moment. 30 all. Let's see. Goes cross court. Oh, that was just out though by Nadal. Norrie though hit a brilliant forehand cross court there. It would have been devilish for Nadal to have tried to have dealt with if it weren't for the fact that his first serve was out. Okay, goes in the middle. Backhand there. Backhand by Nadal. Backhand by Norrie. Forehand by Nadal. Backhand. Oh, but the backhand that looked really strong from Norrie, just long of the tram lines. Nadal here, 40-30. Norrie though looking all right. He's certainly looking all right at the moment. He's certainly not overall. He's not being pushed back by Nadal. He's living with him. And actually, in some cases, seems to be ahead of him. But can Nadal just see out this service game? Goes cross court, forehand by Norrie, backhand by Nadal. Brilliant on the line there by Norrie, but then the backhand by Norrie was just not enough height on it. One of the classic things when it comes to Norrie's backhand is it's so flat that he really needs to work to try and get. If the ball is low and he's on his backhand side, there's a high chance it will just go into the net. And using some other ones like that as well, so that's fantastic. It's really good to hear. Okay, so 2 all at the moment for in this match. Norrie now serving. Down the line, backhand by Nadal. That is long. Very good serve from Norrie there. One of the things that will keep it interesting with Nadal. Ball in the air, goes cross court. Forehand by Nadal. Forehand by Norrie at the line. Nadal just about gets to it. Smash from Norrie. Put away. Nice one. Real good bit of aggression there from Norrie. He is not allowing that Rafa a single sniff at being aggressive on Norrie's serve. And they're 2 very good first serves as well taking place at the moment. Or at least on the service game. Goes on the line. Forehand by Nadal. Up the line by Norrie. Backhand by Nadal. Sliced by Norrie. Straight to the feet of Nadal. Who only can do is stick a forehand wide. The awkwardness is really getting to Nadal at the moment. He is unable to really do much on the Norrie serve. This is looking like it will probably be quite. I mean, I say this, Nadal will probably end up winning the next 3 points, but it could be quite a quick service game. Norrie just getting himself sorted. Goes down the tee, backhand by Nadal into the net, and they return to the chair. 3-2 up to Norrie. Norrie looking really good and locked in at the moment. I mean, like we said, the last all the clay court matches beforehand at Roland Garros, and I think once past the.
Hi. Hello.
How are you doing?
Well, but it's very hot. But yeah, generally well.
It's hot here in the UK as well. It's around about, for me, it's mid-20s, which is hot. But for you, I'm guessing it must be much higher.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mid-30s, but I'm doing okay. I'm surviving.
You're not a puddle in your living room at the moment, then.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, you've joined it at an interesting point. I say an interesting point. Norrie looking incredibly strong on his service games here. It's 3-2 up. And at the moment, actually looks a little bit the most dangerous on the Nadal service game, on the Nadal return game.
How do you see so far, Rafa's ground strokes and movement and, his level overall?
He's looking all right. It's quite hard because Norrie's being the Ute called Norrie awkwardness when it comes to the balls that he's delivering. Norrie's been able to keep the ball quite low to the feet of Nadal, and also been able to take advantage of Nadal's quite deep with court position to do a few drop shots for winners. But I'd say Nadal's looking okay. Probably not. He's not running around the court like a spring chicken. But he's certainly not looking decrepit, if that makes sense.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, Norrie had, tough opener.
Against Kovic, Collars, how do you pronounce his name? Slovak, I think Slovakian player.
Yeah, it was against Kovalik.
That's it. To pronounce it even better. Oh, that was a forehand wide by Nadal, though. Norrie, though, stuck in that point. I didn't know much about Kovalik until that match. And then I discovered, thanks to more informed people on tennis Twitter than I am, that he'd actually won a clay court challenger just literally a couple of weeks beforehand. And that he's pretty much halved his ranking in 5 months. So it was like, yeah, this guy was a real tough opener.
Yeah, definitely agree. And here, actually, I was catching a little bit before joining, while I was getting ready, and I think like Norrie started, still much better than how he did in his first match, regardless of of Nadal, which I think is okay considering what we can expect right now from him. I'm not expecting a 2017 kind of performance, so I think he's doing quite okay so far. And but Norrie started playing with the right mindset, trying to stay closer to the baseline also when he can at times. So I would say it can be a very, very interesting match, actually.
Yeah, I mean, who do you think in the current states? Who do you think you'd favour to win?
It's actually a very tough call. I would say, I still want to. I had the idea of Rafa still probably managing to win the match. But it's not like I will be surprised if Norrie, then playing a good match and being able to move Rafa as he did, for example, here in the last point.
That was a brilliant point there from Norrie.
Yeah, exactly.
Kept in there, and then a vicious forehand cross court.
Yeah, let's say that I agree with the last comment. Probably Rafa can prevail in my opinion, but he needs to serve a little bit better. Trying to to, as much as it's possible, try to get also maybe a couple of free points here and there if he's able to.
Norris is sticking in this one. There goes cross court, really pushing Rafa from side to side here. It's a bit like an eagle at the moment, Norrie. Rafa's able to keep that okay. Cross court from Norrie. Cross court by Nadal, just clips the net. Nadal up backhand. And Norrie into the net there. That clip of the net that Nadal got midway through that point just neutralized everything.
Yeah, but this is right. This is how you you should play if you want to cause Nadal troubles, to exploit his his weaknesses nowadays. And so yeah, I feel like the last couple of points Norrie played very well. We won one, lost one, but it's kind of the right thing to do.
Matthew asking, is a Swedish clay similar to Roland Garros? That's an interesting question. I would certainly say altitude-wise, it's similar.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, I'm guessing that I mean, a lot of similarities will then depend on. I think heat is then the next factor to see if there's major similarities, because it's been quite cold in Sweden this week. I say cold, like early, like low 20s at a maximum with a fair bit of rain. If that's the same conditions in Roland Garros, then this will work out being this really good prep. But if Roland Garros tends to be a heat wave, then it won't be.
Let's say that a factor that here can be a little bit more prominent than at the French Open is at times can be a bit windy. Here a bit more than how it is in Paris. But yeah, overall it's not like very different like we have, I don't know, for example, in Madrid due to the altitude, or Gstaad, it's not that different, Then of course every place you go play tennis, and also considering what's the weather like, and it can change a little bit, but more or less yes, Matthew, actually. At least at home we don't really change the way we eat based on how cold or hot it is outside. So I think I can answer yes to this question.
Did you have cold pasta then, Mario?
Yeah.
Oh, Norrie really doing all he can at the moment. Goes for the drop shot again, and he brilliant. That got Norrie there. Oh, sorry,
yes,
Mario.
But it all starts with using the angles, changing trajectories very well before hitting that drop shot.
Yeah, apologies, Mario, as well. You probably know who I'm going to be wanting to win.
It's fine. It's fine.
You'll be the neutral, or maybe like the more pro Rafa.
Don't worry.
Oh, good one from Nadal. Goes down the line. Norrie though, oh, it's quite close to it. I think Norrie should have tried to have got that.
For me, it's for real, just fun, actually.
But certainly it's the match of the day, and like we're saying, you've probably seen that, Mario. How many seeds have sort of fallen by the wayside in Bastad?
How many seeds? A lot, actually.
Top seeds gone. Rublev's gone. Brood's gone.
Yeah, basically top half. We have Borges left.
Borges is the end. Yeah,
who still has to play his round of 16 match actually later. And the bottom half we have Navone and Norrie. So if Norrie wins, they'll face each other. And so if not, it will be Nadal against Navone. Yeah. As for Rublev, not actually.
Did you manage to watch that? Did you manage to watch that match last night?
Yeah, I watched the match. That's why I was, I started talking. I watched the match against Tirante. And no, it wasn't really an issue of, like meltdown. You won't see what happened at Wimbledon, for example. But yeah, more or less, it's kind of the same issue. It's not like if it doesn't have the meltdown, then there's not the issue. Actually, I felt like it was a bit worrying because Tirante is kind of a player who does the game Rublev likes. It was a matter of hitting strong from the baseline. And Tirante was going from that forehand to forehand rallies, hitting strong. Not that much variety as, for example, Commesania brought. in the Wimbledon match. So yeah, that was a little bit worrying also because there were a couple of moments in the match where Rublev could have built the lead and hasn't managed actually to do it. So yeah, let the opponent in. Tirante also played very well. No, no doubt about this. But yeah, it's been a classic Rublev's performance nowadays. I don't want to say that he does many mistakes. It's not that matter, but a conviction also is, not the same.
No, it did seem, from what I saw at least, it was almost as if Rublev almost had like the shackles on him. Like he didn't really fully, but that forehand didn't feel like it was completely fully firing.
Yeah, yeah.
This is how I'd describe it. I mean, I remember his match against Ruud in Bastad in the final last year, and it was, I mean, like the forehands that Rublev were hitting in terms of the speeds. It was unbeatable. Nobody could have lived with it, and yet that was nowhere to be seen against Tirante. And Tirante seemed to have the better forehand the way it was going.
Yeah, he was the most proactive player on the court, and Rublev, had,
Norrie's in trouble here now. Norrie's in trouble here now. He's lost
just saw it.
down.
Just saw it. Rafa coming to the net, hitting a good volley. Right as our producer says that Norrie is far more comfortable on serve. Yeah, let's see if something happens now.
He's missing some first serves, which aren't helpful. Which isn't helpful. It was on the tee, forehand by Rafa, backhand by Norrie, forehand by Rafa cross court, backhand by Norrie. Oh, just keeps it in. Rafa goes for the slice. Does go out though. Okay, so point there for Norrie.
This was a bad point because right from the return wasn't perfect actually, as you probably would have liked. Try to go with a big topspin, but yeah, the effective shot hasn't been that good as he was hoping. Yeah, then this slice could have played a bit better actually.
Forehands there. Both going baseline to baseline. Drop shot from Nadal, and that's in, and he's got 2 break points.
Yeah, the forehand is getting better.
Yeah.
From Nadal's perspective.
Okay, so ball bounces off the net there, second serve. Goes to court, backhand by Nadal, forehand by Norrie, backhand by Nadal, backhand by Norrie. Just Norrie sticking it in that corner as much as he can. So Nadal's backhand goes cross court to the forehand, cross court there by Nadal, cross court by Norrie, forehand at the line by Nadal, backhand by Norrie. Norrie's doing all he can to stick in this point. Drop shot from Nadal to the feet, smashed by Norrie, and he's saved one of the 2 break points.
A couple of years ago, this would have never happened. But yeah.
Well, a couple of years ago, Nadal would never have played in Bastad.
There's absolutely, that's also right. That's also right. There's been a moment when Nadal could have changed direction going down the line. He still went down the line with the forehand. But yeah, gave Norrie the time and to stay in the rally, and then good job from Norrie.
Good one there from Norrie. Great serve out wide. Nadal just with a backhand that went long beyond the baseline. Both break points have been saved. But we are now at juice. down the line, forehand by Rafa. Cross court by Norrie, forehand by Rafa. Norrie comes to the net. Oh, he's hit a wide one wide. Oh, he hit a cross court wide there. He was coming forward. I thought he was going to take the forehand down the line. That's something I would like Norrie to. He was doing that a bit in about certainly at points last year. He was taking that forehand down the line because he was getting more pace on it. But in recent years, he just seems to have reverted back to his type, which is just cross court on the forehand.
Yeah, feels not as comfortable.
Oh, and that one's. Oh, he tried to go forehand down the line, like I said, but that one was wide of the mark. So Nadal has the break, the first break of the match.
Yeah, let's say that it hasn't been the best game, probably. It's also, Rafa played a couple of good points, but especially after having the 2 break points, hasn't even done anything really special. Probably not a coincidence that if the quality drops just a little bit, then it's Nadal, the one who stays a bit more solid. Norrie goes couple of mistakes he should have avoided from deuce.
So it's okay. So Nadal here. I mean, Norrie, I think, just ran off to the toilet, given how quickly he went away.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I think he'll feel annoyed, Norrie, that especially after getting it back to deuce, that one wayward forehand cross court.
Looking a little bit of other results.
Your guy Berrettini, it's 4-all in Bastad against Daniel Galan.
Yeah, it was down a break.
Yeah,
the first couple of games, Galan won the first couple of games. So
tends to be a bit of a server's paradise, Bastad.
Yeah,
had a stat on
there. They are also playing in Hamburg. I don't know why
that is somebody who does need a big week is Rune.
Yeah, he really needs to. It's also a big chance, actually, because if you're 17th, doesn't happen too often to be second seed of a 500 tournament. This week we have so many tournaments, so of course also
it's one of those 2 tournaments along with Rio that just because of its placement in the calendar,
indeed next year is going to be brought in May.
Yeah, it'll probably still actually have the similar, well, maybe have a similar situation, but because of where it is at the moment this year, like Rio, you get a lot as Norrie, it's a forehand long.
Yeah, and it's also this year in particular, because usually it was not the week after Wimbledon, but the other one.
Yeah.
While this year, due to the Olympics, it has been brought a week earlier, so the week right after Wimbledon, and it's even more difficult. Also considering that we have a lot of other tournaments. For example, Rublev, Ruud, top 10 players chose to play in Bastad. So
Rublev chose to play Borscht. I think that quite obviously the paychecks that Nordea Open and also the Bastad tournament were probably paying these players was enough to tempt them away from the 500 event to the 250.
Yeah, Bastad did a great job, actually, because there's even Sinner who could have played. They had an agreement. Then after Wimbledon, he chose not to play. But if he had to choose a tournament, he had an agreement with Bastad too. So yeah, Bastad, he's got very big this year. It's a tournament that is usually chosen quite well by the players. I remember, last year we had a very good final, for example. So yeah.
No, Bastad tends to be voted quite highly amongst the players when they choose which 250 they prefer across the year. in terms of how they're tracked and whatnot. And as you say, it's a good location as well for a few of them, especially quite a few of the Nordic players, to be able to have as almost like a home tournament on the surface that they quite like. And then also, it's also a bit of a party town, I've heard as well. As a very comfortable service game there for Nadal, 5-3 up. So Norrie hit. Go on in.
Who knows if this may be a good week for Rafa? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you would certainly say, looking at how the draws have fallen apart, there's an actual real chance here for Rafa to go on and win the title.
Yeah, it doesn't also feel like, we need to see the best version ever of Rafa in order to win, the title. So at this point, it feels like legit, in my opinion, to think about it. Then I don't know if it's going to happen because we know, how many things can happen, especially, with current state of things. Yeah, still, there is, for sure, the draw is very open for everybody, and so for Rafa too.
Yeah, it's like I said, for Bastad, it could be anyone's to pick up really, and it's a good chance for somebody to pick up maybe a player that has never won a main draw title to be able to pick up one, or in a case, or a player that hasn't won one in a while to be able to pick up one as well. So Norrie has hit a brilliant second serve there across the court.
So if you would like to try to give us a small analysis, what do you think has changed for Norrie this season compared to especially the end of 21, 22, early parts of 23? What do you see has changed in his game, if it's mental side also?
Yes, you're asking actually an incredibly good question. I think a lot of them. There are a lot of improvements that Norrie made to his game, certainly going into the 2023 season, or at least the beginning of the 2023 season. And then that really played out in terms of the results, where he became really good at being aggressive. Cut his unforced errors down when he was being more aggressive. His forehand was becoming a real weapon in terms of he could hit it down the line with much more speed, and the serve was starting to pick up a lot more in terms of the miles per hour, in terms of the average speed, and its placement was getting better. So that, coupled with the base part of Norrie's game, which is generally quite a solid ball-to-ball striker, somebody who can defend well, meant that first sort of 3 months, or at least 2.5 months of 23, where he went on to winning the Rio final, getting to the quarters of Indian Wells, another final in Auckland as well, and a range of other tournament results. Final in Buenos Aires was another one that he had. That aggressive game, that new development that he brought on, just worked incredibly well. And then something happened after that Miami tournament in 23 that just shot the confidence completely out of him. And I think a lot of it may be down to fatigue. And that then led to a situation where, going into the clay courts, he played it reasonably okay, but a few more unforced errors were coming into his game. His mentality wasn't necessarily completely perfect. Yeah, in terms of the aggression connected to it, and then it's kind of reverted back to a norm, which, unfortunately, in the world of tennis, you've got to improve. If you don't improve, you go backwards. Standing still is actually going backwards, and a lot of other players just worked out how to beat it. And I must say, the serve, certainly on this side here that we've got at the moment, the juice sides. Back and out wide is a perfect place, because you know exactly where Norrie's going to be able to put the ball back to you, and that's what a lot of players were able to do really well. They'll go out wide, and then and then they'll know exactly how to get the right ball next, as Nadal just hits a forehand wide. So yeah, I think the aggression slightly tailored. I think the unforced error count massively went up as part of his game, and naturally, then and also I think a bit of luck was also a bit of an issue where Norrie was very good when he was seeded, and in terms of at least making seed or at least getting deep into tournaments with a seeded number, beating the players that he needs to beat, and that then gave him a ton of points to keep him high in the ranking. Whereas Nadal hits another forehand wide, two errors there from Nadal, makes it look dirty. So yeah, hopefully that can give an idea of what I think's gone wrong for Norrie. I mean, the thing is, his live ranking at the moment is around about 32, and his actual ranking is around about 42. So what he's doing this season is better than what his actual ranking is suggesting, and he has basically, barring US Open points, he has nothing to defend between now and the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I'm fully expecting Norrie to have a bit of a rise back through the rankings as we go towards the to the end of the China swing, and then when it comes to the indoor hardcourt swing, God knows what happens. Norrie doesn't play well indoors, but if he can pick up a few points here or there, that'd be fantastic for him. But yeah, so I think mentality just dipped a bit, which didn't help, and it just then affected other parts of his game when it came to unforced errors. Playing that real aggressive game, which he needs.
Yeah, like this one.
Yeah, just a forehand long. Like you've got the pressure on your opponent. Don't leave it up. Make sure he has to hit a ball.
Yeah, this is bad because love 30. You let your opponent to breathe for a moment, and then who knows? Maybe not, but maybe then he just hits no return, and suddenly you're 30 all. So.
He's in this one here though. Low from Nadal. Just about gets in there. Cross court from Nadal though. It's just too short. Norrie was unable to do anything really with it. I mean, there's parts here where Norrie needs to somehow keep the aggression up at a point. I mean, I don't mind an attempt to hit maybe a couple of unforced errors, but he cannot allow Nadal to dominate.
Yeah.
He has to try and find ways of hitting winners if it's all possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy, of course, but, for example, this last rally, it's, all what you have to try to not make Rafa do, actually, when he starts moving yourself with his forehand.
Oh, good forehand from Norrie, though, down the line. Rafa right stranded at the net. Okay, Norrie here, break back point. I thought he was going to go cross court, but Norrie decided to go down the line, caught Rafa out actually, and Rafa got his racket onto it, but basically that was it. Okay, break point chance here for Cam. Come on, Cam.
And maybe it's been also the most clever choice actually, because probably cross court, Rafa would have probably had a little bit more time to organize his volley.
God's sake.
A good serve.
Yeah, it was a good serve. Norrie forehand into the net.
Yeah, that it was probably impossible to make the return, but was solid first serve. So.
Okay, Nadal goes down the tee. Forehand by Norrie. Forehand by Nadal. Oh, that was good from Norrie. A aggressive forehand down the line. Nadal just
I just wanted to say that he was not Norrie doing what he was trying to do in the first games of the match anymore, but here he actually did it very well. Tried to be more aggressive when he could. A good down the line forehand.
Well, here's another chance for Norrie on the Nadal serve. Let's see what happens here. Nadal goes down. Just clips the net, so that'll be a let forward first serve again. Okay, so sorry, everyone going quiet. I was just trying to see, waiting for Nadal to make a move. Goes down the tee, backhand by Norrie, forehand by Nadal, backhand by Norrie. Oh, but it was wide. It was a brilliant one from Nadal on the baseline, but Norrie's backhand just took a cross court wide.
Yeah, here Rafa saved himself very well. Very deep forehand. It was not easy to hit this well.
Mm. Forehand by Norrie, cross court by Rafa, perfectly placed, advantage Rafa.
So this is the first set point.
Good to see here. Jane is listening eagerly.
Yeah, Jane wants Rafa to win.
Norrie, backhand by. Oh, what a backhand from Norrie!
Wow, this was good. Yeah, this was very good.
Completely by surprise on that one.
Yeah. It was a bit unexpected, actually.
Rafa was like, "Geez, I did not think that was going to happen."
See, it's beautiful. See, Rafa, I like actually watching, how much Rafa still, you may let him play in your local club and he would still be mad when he lose a point and, fist pumping.
Was that an ace? I think that was an ace, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's an ace. It's another set point. The second set point for Rafa.
Okay, Rafa. Goes to cross court, forehand by Norrie. Out it goes, and that is the first set to Nadal.
Yeah, 6 games to 4.
Rafa takes that first set quite comfortably. Well, I say, no, that's what I wanted to use. It was just that one service game that Norrie faltered on, and that was just enough for Rafa to be able to take this home. Norrie had chances, especially in that last service game, to try and get the break back. It's one of those situations where those who take the chances gets the rewards, and Rafa did that this time around.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, the first games I felt like Norrie was a bit more into the match than Rafa. Rafa was, still playing decently, but Norrie was trying to stay very aggressive. Was not missing that much. He was causing a bit of troubles on serve for Rafa. And then the break has got decided by a couple of bad forehand mistakes, at least avoidable. Norrie, did a good job to recover. He was 15-40 down, but then went to use a couple of forehand mistakes, one on the cross court, one down the line. And some troubles for Nadal in the last game. Overall, I would say that, it's been a good performance from Rafa. Of course, nothing special, but a good performance with a couple of good points. More or less what I was expecting. Let's say like this. And Norrie, I don't know if this match goes on to end like 6-4, 6-4, would you be disappointed from Norrie's perspective? Considering that despite facing Nadal on clay, probably it doesn't feel as unbeatable as he used to be.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I guess you start to say it was Nadal on clay. I mean, we have seen, we've seen with the runs that he had in the main part of the clay court season that he is still very good on the surface and did beat the likes of Alex de Minaur and whatnot on the surface. Would I be disappointed? I would slightly disappointed just because I don't want Norrie to lose. But I wouldn't be surprised if Rafa won this match. Like, I go into this certainly thinking it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to get badly quoted on that one there, saying I think it was a 50-50 at the start. When it's Rafael Nadal. But it's I certainly I want Norrie to win the match. I'll be disappointed if he lost it, but I could certainly see I could see a world where he does win it. So Norrie here serving to start the second set, goes out wide, backhand by Rafa, cross court by Norrie, forehand by Rafa, down the line by Norrie, backhand by Rafa, into the net. First point to Norrie. I mean, the big question, of course, for Nadal is going to be, if Norrie is able to find a way of getting this second set, how is Nadal's body going to hold up?
Yeah, it can be a question. Yeah. Yeah, he's also playing doubles Nadal this week, so he spent some hours on the court.
Bad forehand down the line from Norrie.
But of course,
I think Bastad certainly have milked Nadal for as much as they can. Pretty much every single day of the tournament, they've had him on in either singles or doubles format. And he's still in it. He's still bad drop shot from Norrie here. Really creating an opening here for Nadal.
A bit, lucky situation for a tournament, also because Nadal is in that situation where he really needs as many matches, as much time on court as possible, because it's his only tournament that he plays before going to the Olympics. He hasn't played on the grass, so he really needs to get these hours on the court.
And there's only, and as you also point out as well, it's only 2 weeks available of these tournaments. So and the tournaments, you either pick a tournament this week, which you went deep in Wimbledon, you're going to feel a little bit sore from, and then you're straight into a clay court event, straight after, or you pick some of the events next week and actually risk playing way too many matches just before the Olympics start up the day after.
Yeah, that's also a thing about, for example, a lot of American players who will go to Paris to play the Olympics has still decided to come back home, for example, and then just go in Paris and try to do their best without playing a tournament on the clay.
I mean, I'm guessing for a lot of
European players, it's easier.
Yeah, if European players, it's a lot easier. Some of them can pick a home tournament, or at least a tournament like the Italian players that have gone to Switzerland. It's quite close; they can easily get home from there quite quickly. And the French players that went to Switzerland as well. A few French players went to Germany for Hamburg. A lot of the Nordic players chose to go to either Hamburg, which is right next to Denmark, or this tournament here. But I'm also guessing, is that in? That was out, wasn't it? Yeah.
Out. Yeah, worthless to say that this game feels very, very important, of course, to also from a psychological point of view. And then also because it's very difficult to imagine, Nadal putting up a disaster and wasting a big lead in the match.
Yeah, you kind of feel if Norrie wants any hope in this match, he's gonna have to hold this service game. Yeah, but it's interesting what you're saying about the American players. Because I think a lot of the American players know that they've got limited to no chance on the clay of being able to pick up, a medal. So they've decided just to, they're going to play the event because to be able to represent their country at the Olympics. But, are mainly actually thinking more about the hard courts and actually deciding, do you know what, I'm not going to hurt my body or perfect drop shot from Rafa. Norrie's just pushed himself more further back and back in the court, and that just opened up that drop shot chance for Nadal, especially with a short backhand return or forehand return.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the chance. I feel like, given that it's also best of 3 competition, more players are, entitled to dream. Maybe not talking about the gold medal, but something like what Carreño Busta did in Tokyo.
Oh.
I feel like it's it's still fine, I think.
Is he okay? Nadal just took a tumble. Just see here, Norrie pushed into one side, Nadal ran to the other side, slided into it, and then just and I just it just looked like he lost his balance. I don't think. Oh, we think he's okay at least. He's just wiping himself down.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a brilliant thing from Norrie in terms of from one side to another. I think Nadal maybe just landed on his fingers.
Look, the clay turned its back to Rafa this time. Yeah, but seems it's fine, yeah.
Down the line. Norrie with a smash, perfectly placed, advantage Norrie. Yeah, it's like I said, I get what you mean in terms of best of three format, but I'm guessing a lot of them because I know I think that's happened to a few European players that don't necessarily think they're going to do well in the clay. Is that they realise that they'll be going from Roland Garros straight to Canada, straight to Cincinnati, and they've kind of decided, do you know what? Let's not try and stick a tournament the week prior. Let's just go, look, okay, I'll do what I can at the French. I'm not, it's highly unlikely I'm going to be able to pick up a medal, but I'll do what I can, represent my nation, and then get myself straight back on those hard courts, ready for the two Masters events.
Oh, so we are stopping, I think. Rafa probably has.
But Norrie's secretly saying, please retire, please retire, please retire.
No. Yeah, I guess, I'm trying to guess what's the actual issue, because, I saw the fall, of course, but
But it's something to do with his elbow.
Or maybe he just cut himself somewhere, probably. It feels close to the elbow, maybe.
Matthew's asking what's happening. So on a previous point, Matthew, Nadal took a tumble on an attempt to get a backhand. So he fell over, and currently the medical staff are on to have a look. He's pointed to something on his elbow, and he's currently getting some spray on it.
Okay, yeah. It's he cut himself. That's what I think. Okay, so.
So it looks like he's got a cut on his elbow. We just got the medical team on, who are currently just sorting it all out. Just give you some scores around the ground while this is taking place. Berrettini's taken the first set against Daniel Galan, and they're 6-4, and Berrettini is currently 2-1 up against Galan on serve at the moment. Bastad, we've got what's happening here, so nothing to really report there. And then over in Hamburg, where John is currently, and I can see in the backstage John in a beautiful media centre somewhere, at least with bright lights. Currently Rune has taken the first set 6-4 against 6-4 against Trelangeli. And we were just saying, anyone who's joined a little bit late,
I can say Trungelliti.
Oh, fuck her up. And I butchered it, haven't I? Sorry, Mario.
Don't worry. I mean, I can understand why it's not easy.
Apologies for that. My classic name butchering names. It's these new players I've never seen before. I'm still having to learn their pronunciation. Like, I was just very happy to be able to get Mapeshi Perry-Ricard nailed down after Leon. I looked at his first name and I was like, this is not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, then there is the tournament, WTA tournament in Budapest.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Matt.
No, only Schneider is the only seeded players left.
Is she the only seeded? She's the only seeded. God, they've tumbled there a lot quicker than anywhere else. Hang on, I see Sorara Sibas Tormo still in there.
And then there is also Palermo, southern Italy. From people living in Palermo, it's like saying that I live in the north. And indeed, they start at around 5 p.m. Because before it's a bit impossible to play.
I've looked at the temperatures there. Like, I saw some. Last year they had temperatures in excess of 40 degrees during the day in Palermo.
We are not hitting last year temperatures, fortunately, here in Italy. It's still hot, but it's kind of normal what we're having this year. Last year it was extraordinary. I don't think it's happening the same. Actually, here it's not.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. Because as you pointed out, Palermo, like Umag, which will be taking place next week, they tend to play they play all their matches in the sort of like twilights into the evenings, don't they?
Yeah.
When the heat of the sun is a lot when the heat of the sun's kind of gone, and it's just more of a battle of humidity than anything else. But I tell you what, Palermo does look like a lovely holiday sort of destination to go to as a fan, to be able to go in the daytime, relaxing in the sun, and then in the evening heading to the tennis club to be able to watch the event take place.
Yeah, I actually agree. I would love to go to the tournament, but it's actually not easy to reach the destination, because Sicily is a very, very famous holiday destination in summer also from us Italians. So flights, it's like so difficult to get a couple of flights to get there. By car it took like 8 hours for me to arrive to Palermo, so it's not that easy actually to plan a trip.
Oh geez, I'll tell you what, I've looked. Umag, I think, actually has a similar situation where it's something like 3 hours drive from the nearest airport or something, and I'm like, geez, it looks absolutely stunning, and it's got some brilliant resorts, but it's in the middle of nowhere.
I maybe think the closest airport, maybe it's also in Italy. The closest airport.
I think it says something like Venice or something was like the closest airport.
Yeah, okay. There is another one closer in Italy, which is Trieste. But it also depends when you are, where you are departing, because maybe from where you are departing, Trieste is a smaller airport. So maybe, Venice is a famous city. So, of course, you have from kind of everywhere flights to arrive to Venice. So, yeah. But, no, Palermo, it's easy to arrive to, at least from us Italian people, you just go to Palermo airport, but yeah, easy, not so much during the summer because of all the holiday stuff. Yeah, this was help me. Okay. This was a bad mistake, actually, very bad from Cam.
That was a shocker. Forehand cross court and just went wide of the line.
These are all small chances that can determine the score, because then you may open yourself a chance in this game, put a little bit of pressure, and right now you see what happens. You make a bad mistake, Rafa has a game point, strikes an ace, the game is over.
Yeah. Okay, so Norrie's back. It just feels like Norrie's just doing his best to try and hold on here as best he can. That's a real bummer.
From what I'm watching right now, if I would have to, to make a prediction, I would probably say that we can have the same scoreline to the first set, but just because, you can see how Norrie can be able to trouble more Nadal, but Nadal looks, without his usual fireworks, but looks more solid than Norrie, and so maybe there's going to be some moments of the match there where this can make the difference, as it happened in the first one.
Yeah, well, that's a lucky there from Norrie. Nadal's backhand just clipped the top of the net and just fell back on Nadal's side. Okay, so goes cross court, nice cross court forehand by Norrie, and then it just about bounces over Nadal. Thought that was going to go in. Goes to the lob. That's just not going anywhere, is it, Cam? No, it's not. As I say, it's a real. Saying from a Norrie perspective, it's a real shame that he got put with Nadal in the second round. Out of all the
yeah, that's for sure, because the draw opened up a lot.
Like could there have been no other part of the draw that he could have been placed into? Oh, good forehand. Goes to the drop shot there. It's not going to get. No, it's not Nadal. Perfect drop shot.
Good job. While I think it's actually good for Nadal, then this quarter hasn't opened up. He has to play the seeded players, which, for sure is an even better preparation for him, and the upcoming games in Paris.
Yeah, I mean, certainly in the first couple of rounds, he will play a Norrie or a Navoni type player. So he'll have to be ready for that, because it's a 64-player draw, isn't it, for the Olympics?
Yeah.
No buys. Guessing no buys.
No buys. No.
No. So buys. there is the opportunity that he could play a top 10 player in the first round, like he did at the French Open.
Yeah.
Drop shot from Norrie. Nadal doesn't get to it. 30 all, sorry. Like I said, at the moment, it just feels a bit like Norrie's just hanging on. Nadal just seems to be in a very consistent vein of form at the moment. Norrie up into the air, goes down the line, forehand by Rafa. Norrie comes to the net, goes cross court. Rafa just about squeaks to it. Forehand, no, same place by Norrie. Rafa just about gets to it again. Norrie goes back to the same place again. Third time's the charm. And there we go. 40-30.
Yeah, this has been very well played. What
I tell you what, it's an interesting technique I've seen, or at least a strategy that I've seen from a lot of players quite recently, is the fact that in the corner of the court where like your opposing player is, they tend to go back there more and more. And instead of trying to hit it to the open court, they go to the closed court a lot more and keep on just trying to hammer away at it to get the point that way, and it's been working quite effectively.
Yeah, that's right. I've been noticing something like this, especially I've always felt like, especially on grass, it can be a good because
tactics,
changing direction on the grass can be more difficult, especially against most players that are not very comfortable on it. But then of course also on the clay. But here it was very good. The thing with Rafa is that you have to execute it perfectly.
Yeah.
Regardless of its form or state, especially because you go. In this case, he went to his forehand side. It's something that, for example, Djokovic also brought a lot in their clashes. Trying to stay from that corner and not give him the possibility to move the rally with a forehand, inside out or inside in, for example. But and I mean, the most difficult thing is to execute it at the highest level possible, of course.
Mm-hmm. I just had a quick look as well. Whilst you were giving us a good insight there, Mario. Berrettini is now break up in the second. Sorry,
in the second. Okay.
And Runa is a breakup in the second as well against the Argentinian player whose name I will not try and butcher again.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like two matches that should have gone this way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, for Runa, there can be now, very important tests against, some players who knows how to do their things at a very good level, Fields and then, Darderi and Baez are two very good clay players. So, yeah, let's see. It will be an interesting week for him for sure.
Well, Norrie nearly outsold Nadal a dummy there, but then hits a bloody stupid backhand. Oh my days. Cross court just hits it out. You're in control of the point, lad. Why are you giving it up?
Yeah, I mean, I get why it can be frustrating because it feels like a match that it's not impossible as, it would have been a couple of years ago, but you still have to be very, clear and precise with your ground strokes, because if not, it's going to be very, very difficult to beat Nadal today. So it's kind of that situation where you feel like there is the chance, but at the same time, you cannot afford this kind of mistakes.
What you're living through here at the moment, Mario, is what it's like being a Norrie fan. It's just it's torture every match. Oh, go on with a little bit of redemption that you get a little bit there. Oh, nice one. That was a brilliant forehand down the line. Nadal just couldn't do anything major with it and hits his forehand long. Come on, Cam. Sorry, anyone in the chat who's a Nadal fan.
I hope they forgive you. I mean, it's not the most important match of his career. So I think they can forgive you.
Oh, come on. I mean, either way, whoever wins this match, I want them to win the tournament.
I don't know. I want so many players to win tournaments, actually. So I really don't know. But yeah, it would be for sure. Of course, the story is quite, big for both in the tournament, because for Norrie being, back to claim a title would be a huge thing. Wimbledon has been
there we go.
a positive tournament for him.
Yeah, sorry, Norrie just hit a fantastic forehand down the line there.
And I mean, of course, Rafa, we all know why the story would be big for sure. He entered the US Open list with his protected ranking.
He has, hasn't he? He's not giving up after the Olympics. It looks like he's off stateside.
I mean, it's not 100%, of course, guaranteed, but entering with the protected ranking, it's not automatic. So if it did it, I think at least right now.
What a drop shot from Norrie! Nadal goes for the drop shot. And the drop shot, and it all too well looks as though Norrie's not going to be able to reach it. He just about gets to it and hits another brilliant drop shot on the drop shot. Nadal's left scrambling.
Yeah, Norrie played a couple of brilliant points here. Actually,
2 break point chances for the Brit. I shouldn't shout too loud. I got my window open, but yes, come on. I don't think you've ever heard me so animated on the stream. Sorry, Jay. Come on, Norrie. Cross court. Backhand by Norrie. Backhand by Nadal up the line. Norrie just about scrambles to it. Goes over Nadal's head. Nadal goes for the smash. Backhand by Norrie. But it's just doesn't land over.
Well played here.
Yeah.
Very well played.
Okay, so first of the 2 break points have been saved by Nadal. Is a third one going to be saved? First of the snow. Is the second one going to be saved? What am I saying, James? Right, come on, Cam. Okay. Into the air, goes cross court. Forehand by Norrie, cross court. Forehand by Nadal. Up the line, and it's out. Get in. Right, okay. 3-1. 3-1 Norrie. He's got the break in the second set. Right, okay. So Cameron Norrie is leading the second set 3-1 after a pretty excellent return game, if I do say so myself, for that one. Norrie here now looking to serve to make it 4-1 and just make it a bit of a commanding lead. Goes down the tee, but forehand by Nadal, backhand by Norrie, forehand by Nadal at the line, backhand cross court by Norrie. Oh, cross court from Norrie. Nadal just about gets to it. Drop shot from Norrie. Oh, but it doesn't go over.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see, how Nadal will play this game. And Norrie also, of course. Things are getting...
Norrie needs to not get as giddy as I am. That's what needs to happen. He needs to be as cool as a cucumber.
One moment.
Shot. Oh, this is the thing out wide there. Okay, so we'll just lead from it here, everybody. Okay, Norrie though. Second serve goes out wide. Forehand by Nadal at the line. Backhand by Norrie. Cross court by Nadal, but it is wide from Nadal. It would look like a brilliant cross court forehand, but it was just slightly long. Gives Cameron a bit of a reprieve on that one there. So it's 15-all at the moment. Like we said, the interesting thing is if Norrie is able to get this set and hold it and serve his way to the second set. I mean, I'm saying that it's a long way to go. We're 3-1 in the second, but actually, how physically ready is Nadal to go the distance? As Norrie hits his first serve just into the net, so his second serve here, so maybe a chance for the Spaniard. Goes cross court again, backhand by Nadal, down the line by Norrie, up the line by Nadal, down the line by Norrie, backhand by Nadal. Oh, just wheels in the air, backhand. Oh, brilliant backhand! It was just a short one there from Norrie on the return. Nadal just ran straight onto it and hit his backhand down the line to get the point. So it is 15-30, currently 15-30. Nadal very happy with that. Of course, Nadal's going to do his best to try and get the break back.
Yeah, I suddenly saw my dog with something in his mouth that he shouldn't had.
Cross court from Norrie. Is it going to go? Oh, please stay out. It does. That was brilliant from Norrie. Swung it out wide. Nadal hits the return back. Norrie takes it down the other side of the court. Bit like an eagle with wings. It's pretty majestic if you're not watching. Okay, Cameron here. Goes down the line. Forehand by Nadal. Backhand by Norrie. Backhand by Nadal. Backhand. Oh, backhand down the line. Attempt from Norrie, and it's long. Oh,
yeah. So,
it just looked like he wanted to catch that too early.
Yeah, Nadal feels also, at least I think, a bit lower in energies than it was until a couple of games ago.
Nadal does seem awake at the moment. But Norrie here. Okay, break point Nadal. A break back point. Goes cross court from Norrie. Forehand by Nadal. Backhand by Norrie. Forehand by Nadal. Forehand by Norrie. Backhand by Nadal. Forehand cross court by Norrie. Backhand by Nadal. Into the net. It was a brilliant forehand out wide by Norrie. Takes Nadal out wide, and all Nadal can do is hit the ball back. It's only scrambled to the backhand to get it into
for example, focusing on Nadal, this wasn't played well at all. Actually,
I mean, the interesting thing is actually is how much Norrie is targeting the Nadal backhand. He's doing his absolute damage.
Nadal and I struggling to find some deep backhands that really Norrie had the chance to stay in an attacking position. Right now, it's happening often. So,
okay, second serve. Norrie really isn't taking advantage to try and at least get ahead in this service game, but he's got second serve. goes down the tee. Oh, Nadal's there scrambling on that one. Did not read that one correctly. But they're in a rally at the moment. All out forehand wide by Nadal. That makes it advantage Norrie. All right, a chance here for the Brit to extend his lead in the in the second set.
Do you remember the score from the United Cup, or at least who won the first set?
It was Nadal that won the first set, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah, I
Oh.
remember the same, but I wasn't sure. So
go on, Norrie, get it. Cross court, what a cross court! Oh Jesus! And we get the fist in the air. Come on! Oh my days! It looked all the while like Nadal had that point. He was commanding at the net. He hit a backhand cross court. Norrie was on the other side of the net, just about got to it and scrambled a backhand, scooped it backwards. Oh, get on, Cam.
For me, what was even better was not the last shot, but the one before, because Nadal, arrived, came to the drop shot and played well the cross court, and yeah, Norrie did a great job with his end. And okay, so we have 4 games to 1. Things changed a lot because at the beginning of the second set, the first point.
Just to say as well, Norrie's just broken his bottle somehow, but he's going to go get it fixed. Sorry about that, Mario. Continue.
No, yeah, I was just saying that at the very beginning of the set, first couple of games, it was still feeling more or less the same script at the first set. This was my feeling watching. And then, Nadal went a little bit low on energies probably, but Norrie actually took advantage really well, did what he needed to do, stay aggressive, cutting the mistakes as much as possible. And yeah, so far it is paying off.
Yeah, he's I completely agree. It's just I'm sure Norrie would like to get a double break against Nadal in this set, just to get him close to the home stretch for the second set. Well, it's a classic line. It feels like a Michael Owen sort of line to say, really. Okay, so see what happens here. Down the line, forehand by Norrie. Backhand cross court by Nadal. Norrie just about gets to it. Wow. Oh, and the backhand was long from Nadal. He went for a backhand down the line and he just didn't keep it on the line.
Yeah, and he's feeling right now the need to risk more. Nadal.
Like he could have hit that with a little bit more margin, but he chose to hit it as fine as possible because he felt as though anything less that Norrie would get to it. Attempt to go cross court, hits the net there from Nadal. There was a lot of pace on that serve. I think it's the fastest serve attempt that I've seen from Nadal all match. So as you said, that element of trying to add a bit more risk to the situation. Forehand by Norrie, forehand by Nadal, backhand by Norrie. Nadal's sort of in control at the moment. Forehand by Norrie, backhand by Nadal. Very nice backhand from Nadal.
Yeah.
Goes for the smash, puts it away perfectly. Yeah, Nadal just kept the foot to the floor on that one when it came to the aggression. 15 all.
Meanwhile, Berrettini won.
Has he won because of the win?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, nice one, Matteo. Oh, Norrie there. He needs to keep the aggression up. There was a way of him to be able to be a bit the aggressor in that contest, and he didn't do it. banging his racket. He knows that he let Nadal dictate on that one too much. No, I mean, I put my brackets together, Mario, and I had Matteo winning Bastad.
It's a place where he usually plays well. So
he won his first title there, didn't he, in 2018?
Yeah, he reached another final. It was very close against Casper Ruud.
Yeah, because he took the first set against Rory, didn't he? And they went to a tiebreaker in the second.
Exactly. It was a tiebreak away, basically, from winning the match. So
it's a place he knows. To be honest, given that actually Casper tends to play much better in Switzerland, I'm quite surprised he didn't elect to go there to try and get a few more matches on the first week.
Yeah, he likes to come here to play. I actually remember kind of an early loss also in 22. Here he lost to Serundolo.
Yeah,
at the very beginning of the tournament. Oh,
Norrie gets caught out there. It's just a perfect body serve. Norrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying he tends to either get to the final or and then he ends up going out second round the top next year.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's actually a place where he usually plays well or not, because in 21, when he won, the field was very different, because this year, it's an Olympic year, but we have the Olympics on clay in Europe. So for many players, it's the most reasonable thing also to play some tournaments here. While in 21, it was, basically him and not many other, top players choosing to still play this swing, because it was colliding with the Olympics in Tokyo. So it's actually difficult for me to understand whether he likes to play here or not. I mean, he likes to play here, but if he does it usually well or not, let's say like this.
Oh, Cam's already 15 up down there. Just isn't sticking the aggression anymore. I don't know what he seems to become a little bit too passive.
Yeah, and
yeah, but I know what you mean, because in 21 it was like you say, it was the Olympic year there as well, but that was the hard court, so people were already trying to train to get ready for that. If anyone who was not going to want to hit the indoor, hit the courts that they were doing there, and then he went on and won those 3 titles in a row. Good from Norrie, stick in the baseline. Forehand by Rafa, backhand by Norrie. Just about catches. Come on, Norrie. Up the line, backhand by Rafa. Forehand by Norrie. Long. Oh,
yeah, that moment is over. But yeah, this match has showed clearly that it's mostly a fight of, who's more able to stay in an aggressive position. For both, it becomes very difficult when they find themselves on defense for different reasons, but for both it's very difficult.
And Norrie hits the net there. He's love 40 down.
Also too quickly.
I mean, the fans are happy because they want Nadal to win, but bloody hell. I don't know if we're about to come back from this, because that one there, that forehand was straight at Nadal.
Yeah, this has been very, very quick.
That was ridiculous. I don't think his serves were any good either. That was the first serve right in the middle of the box. I mean, you're asking for it at that stage.
Yeah, game 2, he has to forget it actually as quick, even quicker than how he lost it.
I think Rafa Jr. is enjoying it. Probably
I
won't
love him.
require
I am a fan. I am a fan of Rafa Jr.
Well, Runa is serving for the match in Hamburg. And yeah, you say Berrettini is one in thingy, so it's just FA8 is the last match in Bastad to finish off the lineup, the quarterfinal lineup for tomorrow.
Yeah,
could be FAA versus Berrettini in that match, which could be a pretty good one.
Yeah, Felix. Yeah, that's right.
Because the draw really broke that. The entry list really broke down just before the tournament started, which was a real shame for them.
Yeah, the top half here looks very good. But yeah, Huffman usually knows how to do well on this altitude clay, so it's going to be an interesting one between Felix and Huffman, actually. And Nadal seems like he's back on track.
Yeah, he seems locked in, doesn't he?
That's what makes these players still very special, because they may have right now flaws, weaknesses. You may put them into difficult situations, but the thing is that as soon as they smell the blood and they just lock in and cut the errors, and suddenly they're back in track, like Rafa is doing right now.
Yeah, he's 30 love up at the moment. Okay, so Nadal 30 love up on his own serve. Norrie, forehand. He's just been pushed from pillar to post here. What's happened, Cam?
Yeah, Nadal is on a streak, actually. And Norrie now is back being very, very with his feet behind the baseline, very far from it. And another game to love.
Yeah, I can see he's miles behind the baseline.
Yeah, Runa closed the match. So, yeah, there are basically 12 straight points for Nadal.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, that's 12 straight points in a row. Norrie needs to break the rot here. Good serve here would help. Down the tee, forehand by Rafa. Backhand by Norrie. Backhand by Rafa. Cross court
Yeah,
Norrie.
not this way, because.
And this is the situation. He's now overhitting because he just hit a forehand wide. So now that Rafa Norrie goes cross court, forehand by Rafa, backhand by Norrie into the net.
This is for 14 straight points. Norrie really needs to end this streak.
If I were him, I would just charge the net after the next serve. It's not. not prat around at the back of the court anymore. It's not working. Hey, a point. I mean, if you can hold here, you're still in it. It's only on serve.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, Cam. Goes down the tee. Backhand by Rafa. Come to net, Norrie. Go on. Forehand.
Oh.
Into the net from Rafa. 2 points in a row for Norrie. That's the momentum, but he shifted.
Yeah, there was, kind of a weird mistake from Nadal, because the ball actually hasn't really, came off his racket, actually. So it was a bit weird. Let's see if it's going to be game point or break point.
Oh. Good one. Forehand. Backhand. Cross court. Oh. Cross court. Cross court again. The line. Backhand. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, without even having, to really strike so hard the forehand, change the height. Norrie was behind the baseline, hasn't really been able to organize his defense. Break point. And second serve.
What a terrible idea that was.
Yeah, Nadal hit very, very good defensive backhand before. Then this drop shot hasn't been the best idea.
There we go. Nadal is 5-4 in the lead, has broken Norrie, and is going to be coming out after this sit down to serve for the match.
So, game away from quarterfinal.
What was that question? Sorry, Mario? You said the game away.
Yeah, from a quarterfinal. I was thinking about the tournament he has played in, this comeback. Let's say it was a quarterfinal in Australia when he lost to Thompson.
When was that?
And I think actually yes, because against Lechka in Madrid it was around round four match. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Is that Norrie? Or is that no, not Madrid, not Norrie. Scrap that. Sorry, I guess you mean Nadal in terms of the Madrid result. Right. Oh. Okay, serving for the match, Nadal.
Yeah, Brisbane for Nadal has been.
Oh yeah,
the only quarterfinal this year, so it would be the second. And he's looking in charge.
15 love. Very strong point from Nadal there. just as we get a bit of a post-mortem probably of Norrie, I mean, I hope actually that Norrie maybe would look at this, at least for next year, this part of the season as somewhere that he could potentially do quite well at.
There have been some positive signs.
Good forehand from Nadal. Nadal's just on fire.
Still, these final games are, leaving a bit of a bitter taste for sure, because right now Nadal is, the level has grown a lot. At least he really cut the mistakes till, from some point this set. But still, there's that feeling Norrie probably could have done a little bit better in some parts of the match.
As he hits a forehand long, his mind's just gone.
Mm-mm.
Okay, Rafael Nadal with 3 match points to get to the quarterfinals in Bastad, a place he's not played at in 19 years. Is he about to make the quarterfinal and a potential matchup with Navoni, the Argentinian 4th seed Navoni? Nadal goes down the cross court, perfectly placed, and he wins the match. Rafael Nadal has beaten Cameron Norrie 6-4, 6-4 in, I think, around an hour and 43. So 2 fairly tough sets for the Spaniard. Norrie really put up a strong test for Nadal. Was a breakdown in that second set, but Nadal was able to come back from that break to both level and then also break again to take that to take that set. Certainly, with the way in which all the seeds have started to tumble in this tournament, you would certainly say Nadal is potentially one of the big favourites to win the event, and would certainly see that he could be picking up the trophy, the silverware, on Sunday if he continues along this vein of form. What do you think, Mario?
Yeah, as weird as it sounds, it's his first clay court quarterfinal in more than 2 years, and of course for a lot of different reasons. And the second this year after Brisbane, he's playing at a good level. Of course, we have to lower a little bit the expectations, meaning that we have to expect a couple of games where he doesn't play as well as he could do, or is Nadal able to serve at full pace now? Well, I don't see the big limitation that he had, for example, in Barcelona. So yeah, I would say yes to this question. Of course, you still have to have the perspective that from I feel like it's going okay. And now I would say that it's a very interesting quarterfinal between Navone, which is a very different opponent from Norrie. But let's say that probably considering also the players who are left in the draw, probably it feels like from that match, we may have an idea who is going to be the favorite entering the semifinals. Right now, I'm thinking that for Nadal it's possible to imagine something good happening for the rest of the week, because I still think that this version of Nadal won't be enough probably at the Olympics against a top 5 player. But considering the tournament we're in and the draw and the level is okay, so yeah, why not try to expect something good coming up in the next days.
No, it's as we can see, Nadal is starting to speak now anyway, but it's you can certainly say that it's all about building momentum, but getting in those matches. The Olympics is going to be best of 3. This is best of 3. It just and it'll make him feel more comfortable and better going into that tournament as well. It's 3 matches potentially left here, maybe a couple in the doubles. Get a couple of days off get a few days off after that before going to Roland Garros, and then seeing what he can do from there. It's just every single match Nadal's just playing better and better and better, and it's going on really well.
Yeah, then it's still of course a big jump from just improving match by match and then be ready to face a very top player. But yeah, just to try focusing on, this tournament, which can still be a huge deal, because, I still think that doesn't matter how many tournaments, how many slams you have won, but having, something in your hands, can still be a very, very good feeling. And I think it's possible. Then I don't know that if, but I feel like actually this is the time on court which, is good for him. I'm not thinking is he playing too much this week, because he hasn't played a lot. He needs matches. He needs to actually, when you get older, you maybe need even more matches and time on court before starting really improving your level. So there is a double phase, in my opinion, to this situation. And yeah, I would say that the match against Navona can be very interesting. I'm a bit interesting to see what Navona can bring, tactically, to try to avoid getting caught in Rafa's baseline game, where he's very good at. And yeah, let's see if Nadal will also up his level even more, or we will see a similar version to the one we saw today, which was okay, I would say. I'm not like amazed, but it was an okay performance.
No, it certainly was. And as you say, getting in those matches now, if he ends up playing 3 singles matches and another 2 doubles match, that's all good stuff for him in the tank to going forward. And yeah, and I think I probably will say it here, that the winner of the Navone match, Nadal Navone, will probably end up being the person that will most likely win the title. Though I'll be happy to put my head on the block to say, just given the players that are left in the tournament. And it's just,
yeah, we're going to have a player that we don't even need to describe, which is Nadal. And right now, considering how well he did on the clay this year, he's also the top ranked player left in the draw. So yeah, it feels like these are probably right now the 2 names with, if I have to make to say 2 names, I would say these 2. Monteiro also playing very well, probably. So
he is. I mean, Monteiro is, he has a bit of a track record of beating big names in clay events. Beating Tsitsipas in Madrid earlier in the season, and he went on a good tear as well in Rio. I think he was the one that actually ended up beating Alcaraz, because of Alcaraz having any issues in that match, if I'm mistaken, in Rio. But no, it's and the main thing, of course, in Navone is that he would have spent all of his young life idolizing Nadal from South America, and it's going to be a big event for him to play up against his idol. That it'll be.
I think this can give you even more motivation. Actually, I know that when you have looked up at somebody, and then it feels like, I don't want him to lose, maybe. But then when you're a player and you are in your business, then for me, when you face these guys, regardless of the moment of their career, because of course it's not like beating Nadal this year has the same value as maybe it was 5 or 6 or even 2-3 years ago, but still, would be a very, very nice thing if you manage to do it. Let's see. It feels like it will be, of course, interesting to watch. And yeah, tomorrow they play quite early. It's second match tomorrow.
Yes, they're on I think it's 1 o'clock local time, which is 12 o'clock my time.
Yeah, it's second match, especially because there's also, I believe, the double after, maybe if they win.
You may be telling me scheduling news I am not on top of. Let me have a look. Friday. No, they're not doing the only semi-final they're doing for the doubles is on court 1, and that's for Escobar and Neves. I think what they plan to do is, if Nadal gets to the semis, they'll play his semi-final first, then they'll do the next semi-final, and then they'll do the double semi-final.
Yeah, that's right.
As the last match for that one.
That's right. Yes.
And that's how they'll probably plan it. But no, it's yeah, it's shaping up to be some good semi-finals tomorrow. Any last words before we finish, Mario?
Or maybe they may withdraw. Who knows?
Hopefully not. I really hope not. They've been bigging them up. It's been it's good to see that.
Yeah, it's been a nice story. Yeah.
Thing is, I think with Rude having no matches left, he'll want to stay. You know, he likes it in Bastad. As I said, Mario, it's going to finish up now. Do you have any last words about the last few days, or to do with Nadal?
Yeah, no, just a reminder that we have to soak it up. Nadal is still playing. We have to still watch and enjoy as much as we can, because we will regret it in the future. So yeah, but right now there's another interesting match actually. So if people are free, I recommend watching, because it will be a match between two Portuguese players, and not often it happens on the main tour. So I'm interested to see also, because they both have done quite well lately. So I will probably stay watching a little bit.
Cool. Right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to the show. We'll have a few more probably in these build-up events before the Olympics. And then, of course, afterwards, we go on to the US hardcourt swing. So tennis never stops.
Yeah.
It never, ever stops.
Yeah, the day after the Wimbledon final, we had Nadal playing doubles here in Boston. So
cool. See you later, everyone.
See you.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.